Hello and welcome to Nightmare Stories, a place where the line between reality and nightmare blurs, where we delve into the depths of real-life horror. In this video, we'll delve into 3 harrowing incidents that actually happened in the past. These true stories will grip you with fear. These terrifying stories will leave you questioning the very fabric of reality itself. Incident number 1. The Jonestown Massacre. Cult leader Jim Jones leads his followers to a mass suicide in Guyana, resulting in the deaths of over 900 people. The Jonestown Massacre, also known as the Guyana Tragedy, was a horrific event that took place on November 18, 1978. It involved the mass suicide of over 900 people, led by cult leader Jim Jones, in the remote settlement of Jonestown, Guyana. Jim Jones was the founder and leader of the People's Temple, a religious group that started in Indiana, United States in the 1950s. Initially, the People's Temple was seen as a progressive and racially inclusive organization, focusing on social justice and community service. However, over time, Jones became increasingly paranoid and authoritarian, creating a cult-like atmosphere within the group. In 1974, amid growing scrutiny and investigations into his practices, Jones moved the People's Temple and its followers to Guyana, a country in South America, to establish an isolated community known as Jonestown. The settlement was intended to be a utopian society, but it soon turned into a place of isolation and control. Conditions in Jonestown were harsh and abusive. The followers lived in crowded, unsanitary conditions, and they were subjected to psychological manipulation and physical punishment. Jones exercised absolute control over their lives, dictating their actions, thoughts, and even relationships. He employed various tactics, including sleep deprivation, public humiliation, and mind-altering drug experimentation, to maintain his grip on the members. As concerns about the People's Temple and Jonestown escalated, concerned relatives and former members reached out to the U.S. government for help. In November 1978, Congressman Leo Ryan, along with a delegation of journalists and concerned relatives, traveled to Guyana to investigate the allegations of abuse. On November 18th, Ryan and his delegation arrived in Jonestown to assess the situation. Initially, the visit seemed to go well, as some members expressed a desire to leave with Ryan. However, as the delegation was preparing to depart, a group of temple members attacked and killed Ryan, several members of the media, and a defector from the cult. Realizing that the end was near, Jim Jones summoned all the followers to the central pavilion and initiated a mass suicide plan. The exact events that followed are still debated, but it is believed that Jones coerced or forced his followers to consume a cyanide-laced fruit punch known as Flavor Aid. Adults and children alike drank the poisoned beverage, resulting in the deaths of over 900 people, including Jones himself. The Jonestown Massacre remains one of the largest mass suicides in history and a chilling reminder of the dangers of charismatic leaders and cults. It sparked investigations into cult practices, prompted increased awareness of the psychological manipulation tactics used by cult leaders, and led to changes in laws to protect individuals from exploitation and abuse within such organizations. Incident number 2. The Bell Witch. It revolves around the haunting of the Bell family, who claim to have been tormented by a malevolent entity known as the Bell Witch. The events surrounding the Bell Witch haunting have been widely. The Bell Witch haunting began in 1817 when John Bell, his wife Lucy, and their children started experiencing strange phenomena on their farm in Adams, Tennessee. The disturbances started with unexplained knocking sounds on the walls and furniture, but gradually escalated into more terrifying occurrences. The family reported hearing disembodied voices, unidentifiable animals' noises, and the sounds of chains being dragged across the floor. The entity, believed to be the Bell Witch, soon began to communicate with the family members, displaying an intelligence and knowledge beyond that of a typical haunting. It would engage in conversations, quoting scripture, singing hymns, and accurately recounting private conversations between family members. The witch seemed to possess a particular animosity towards John Bell, and targeted him with physical attacks, often leaving him bruised and battered. News of the Bell Witch haunting spread throughout the community, attracting curious visitors and skeptics. The entity reportedly demonstrated its ability to interact with outsiders by answering questions and even predicting future events. Word of the haunting reached a prominent figure, General Andrew Jackson, who decided to visit the Bell family to investigate the claims himself. Legend has it that his carriage got stuck on its way to the farm, and the entity declared it wouldn't allow him onto the property. Jackson, intrigued but also frightened, allegedly exclaimed, "By the Eternal, I'll never fight the Bell Witch again." The Bell Witch's torment persisted for several years, and the entity became known for its malicious and mischievous behavior. It is said to have shown a strong dislike for John Bell, and eventually claimed responsibility for his death in 1820. According to the legend, John Bell died from an unknown poison, and the witch even attended his funeral, laughing and singing hymns. After John Bell's death, the entity's activity diminished, and the haunting eventually ceased. However, the story of the Bell Witch remained ingrained in local folklore, and continues to capture the imagination of people to this day. Several books, documentaries, and movies have been inspired by the Bell Witch legend, further perpetuating its enduring popularity. While there are various theories about the true nature of the Bell Witch haunting, ranging from a poltergeist to a manifestation of psychological phenomena, the story continues to be debated and interpreted in different ways. The Bell Witch remains one of the most famous and enduring supernatural tales in American history. Incident number 3. The Dyatlov Pass Incident. A group of hikers ventures into the Russian wilderness and meets a gruesome, unexplained fate. The Dyatlov Pass Incident is a mysterious and tragic event that occurred in the winter of 1959 in the northern Ural Mountains of Russia. A group of 9 experienced hikers, led by Igor Dyatlov, set out on a skiing expedition to reach Otorten Mountain. However, they never returned as planned, and a search operation was launched. The group consisted of 8 men and 2 women, all of whom were experienced hikers and members of the Ural Polytechnic Institute's hiking club in Yekaterinburg, Russia. They were well prepared and equipped for the winter conditions. On January 27, 1959, the hikers began their trek into the wilderness. They documented their progress through diaries and camera photographs. On January 31st, they reached a spot called Kholat Syakhl, which translates to Dead Mountain in the local Mansi language, but decided to camp for the night, instead of ascending the mountain due to worsening weather conditions. When the hikers failed to return by February 12th, a search operation was launched. On February 26th, the search team found their abandoned and badly damaged tent on the slopes of Kholat Syakhl. The tent had been slashed from the inside, and the hikers' belongings, including shoes and warm clothing, were left behind. As the search continued, the bodies of the hikers were found in stages over the following months. Some were found near the remains of a makeshift campfire, while others were found further away in a ravine. The injuries sustained by the hikers were baffling and raised many questions. Some had severe skull fractures, broken ribs, and internal injuries, but without any signs of external trauma. One victim was missing her tongue and eyes, adding to the mystery. The investigation conducted by Soviet authorities at the time concluded that a compelling natural force caused the hikers' deaths. However, the lack of clear explanations and the mysterious circumstances led to numerous theories, including avalanche, military involvement, indigenous Mansi people, infrasound, and even paranormal explanations. Some theories suggest that the hikers were scared by something or someone and fled the tent in a panic, leading to their deaths. Over the years, independent investigations and research have attempted to shed light on the incident. In 2019, Russian authorities reopened the case but concluded that the cause of the hikers' deaths was still inconclusive. The Dyatlov Pass incident remains one of the most enduring mysteries in the history of exploration and has captivated the imaginations of people worldwide. It continues to spark debates and fuel speculation, with no definitive explanation for what exactly transpired on that fateful night. Get ready to experience fear in its purest form. Each episode on Nightmare Stories will dive deeper into these terrifying incidents and unravel the mysteries that continue to haunt the world. Buckle up and join us as we venture into the unknown. Prepare to be captivated, horrified, and mesmerized. Subscribe now and hit that notification bell so you never miss an episode of real-life horror on Nightmare Stories. Goodbye.